Aloha, I'm Terra Ann. I'm a leadership coach based in Honolulu, and I work with business owners, attorneys, women, purpose-driven leaders to build sustainable systems for their success without sacrificing their well-being. Before I joined the CFJ Coaching Success School, I was burned out. I recently left my home on the Big Island after the lava flow. I was navigating seizures. I was trying to rebuild my business from the ground up. I had passion and heart, but I didn't have any really systems. And I thought that that would be enough, but it just wasn't. How far along I was? Well, when I left the Big Island is when I was like, oh, let me get into the coaching business. That's how I can rebuild a career. And I got into health coaching. And so the first couple years, I was just doing a lot of what I used to do at our retreat center. I didn't have the venue. I was just like throwing things against the wall. I didn't have any systems really. And so coming to the school really helped ground me and like, this is how you build a coaching practice. So here I am in Honolulu, and the school's in LA, which, actually I grew up just down the street. So there's something been really nice about me returning to home for the school because I get to be with family also. When I first joined, it was the first year. It was the first year where they were doing hybrid. And so I was able to do online, and that made it accessible. But I didn't go live until maybe one of the last ones, my first year. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's so different in the room. And so it's a lot to either get there or to have the full weekend on Zoom, but both are so worth it. It's been great. This year, I'm going to see what I can do to get to all of the weekends. There's something magical that happens in the room. I'm now entering my 5th year. At first, I thought that it was going to be like, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And so last year I was like, oh, I'm really going to get it. This is my senior year. And by the end of the year, I was like, God, this is like my apprenticeship. This is where I feel supported, loved. There's a lot of noise out there, and this is a good soup to be swimming in. There are systems. I remember my first couple years, I just wanted the how-to. This is more of an apprenticeship. So what keeps me coming back, I keep improving, I keep deepening in my inner world and my outer success. And I'm still growing, and I'm a little more relaxed that I'm like growing coach. I'm not a brand newbie and haven't mastered this craft yet. So this is a good place to be. Even my first year, I think I was still having seizures. And so I've been like nearly 4 years seizure free. And I had been undercharging, over functioning, and I've filled my roster of 13 one-on-one clients. I'm rooted in my systems and consistency. I've cleaned up my money. I've had a money coach for nearly 2 years. I've cleaned up a lot of the systems in my life, and it shows in my outer world as well. I'm seizure free, but I don't take meds. I've used diet and lifestyle. I've really changed everything to support my way of being in service. I've grown. I've shifted from like hustle, which I still can I really like to work hard and I like productivity, yet I understand the value of presence, not only for what's possible in these spaces that we're co-creating with people, better for my nervous system too. It's more in flow than it is. I mean, not to say I don't swim upstream and have my own, working spots, yet it just feels supportive in all ways. What happens in the course that allows for the change or in the school. It's less of a course, but the systems of we're meeting monthly, we have a bonus call. There's enough structure to keep me I'm like, oh, it's like I'm in school. And the community page, what a place of gold. And I've found ways to capture over the years, like what are some things that I can use later on for when I'm in a similar situation, and just learning from other people's experiences. And then also seeing that I'm just not alone in this process. So the community, the consistency of classes. So the weekends, I mean, although they're long, I get to come back and immediately implement things that we were practicing over the weekend. And it's a learn as I go. I'm working on it myself. Here I might be a step further. And it's like a live lab. And this last year, I've really been settling in and learning how to utilize the school for the community aspect, access to Carolyn and all the staff she brings, the people she brings on. I've been so enjoying witnessing their change, their growth, their experimenting with things, their humanness in it all. I feel blessed. I trust the space. I trust the people. These are the role models I want to continue to put myself around. The skill building too. I mean, it comes down to this is a craft. So what do I attribute this to? Over the last several years, I'm finally doing some of the simple things that I heard the first couple years, but I was still in my head around like, let me figure out another way. Before this, I had been in facilitation. I was leading groups and doing things. And I'm like, well, how do I do this while I'm changing too? And so I'd have to say, I feel more rooted now, aligned in my own body. And here I've got these role models that keep changing with the times too. What I'd say to somebody that is considering joining, if you're on the fence, I'd say do whatever you can to get the support that you need. Coaching, this profession, it's not a one and done skill. I've come to understand it's a lifelong apprenticeship. The CFJ school, it's the most nourishing place that I've found to build both a business and a way of being. If I had to use one phrase to describe the CFJ Coaching Success School, I'd call it an apprenticeship of the heart. As I'm entering my 5th year in the school, I could choose to tell myself, like, what's wrong? I haven't figured this out yet. Oh, I've got to go back. And I feel so much lighter around that. I know that that's an older voice, and I've been wanting to tell my 1st and 2nd year self, have a little more fun with it. Have a little more fun with it. Something else about why I chose, I was like, oh, I really need business skills. The world keeps changing, but I value enrollment skill set. What a path to mastery it is. I think it's Steve Chandler that says, you want to get better at coaching, get good coaching. Put yourself in the room with people that are masters themselves. And each time I'm with the school, I'm with peers in the school, we have like thinking sessions each month. There's just no lack of support. Like my teacher, my kumu here in Hawaii, she says that we're all in the same canoe. So the thinking partnership has been introduced. It's like in between each month's weekend, we are assigned a thinking partner. And we schedule 2 sessions in the month to do a thinking partnership. And this comes from the work of Nancy Klein, and she wrote the book, A Time to Think. I promise to not interrupt you. And so we set the timer. There's a strict format on a few questions to ask, but as the listener, we are giving space to the person that is thinking, the speaker, for them to think out loud and be uninterrupted. Because what Nancy Klein says is that we are now in a society that has lost the art of thinking and experiencing where our own thought process goes. And what's been wonderful is I brought this to my coaching sessions, and it's so valuable because to hear ourselves think out loud and then be like, oh, wait, let me rearrange that without somebody else, the listener, projecting our thoughts or even our biases, listening and shaking our heads. So there's this practice, and Carolyn really promotes that we follow the rules, and we do appreciations at the end, but it's a beautiful space to have safe thinking and then reorganize for ourselves. It's nice to know that it's like, I don't want to say family run, but a small group. The term in Hawaii is hui, like a small hui that care for this profession and are in it for the long haul.